Welcome back to the Triple Crown Champ, back like I never left. And today we are talking about Friday Night Smackdown. So let's get into it. So first things first, we start the show with an appearance from Tiffany Stratton. It's Tiffy time, I guess. Tiffany comes out to do a promo. I mean, it was very short, sweet. Didn't really think too much of it. That led to obviously Lash Legend and Nia Jax coming to spoil the party, which in turn led to the tag team match, which was billed for the night, which was Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. I say Io Shirai a lot. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley versus Nia and Lash Legend. Now, it was interesting because I would have thought that this might have been the opportunity for them to drop the titles. I know full well that at some point between now and not Elimination Chamber, sometime in between now and WrestleMania, they're obviously going to drop those titles. I believe that because of the WrestleMania promo video. Again, there's a lot to be gleaned from that video. It can tell you a lot about general direction on where they're trying to go. So I think Rio and Io and Rio, I think they have to drop those titles at some point very soon. Maybe a little bit more confrontation between the two. It might be too short to start integrating that, but yeah, I think they have to drop those titles, and I think it's logical that they drop them to either the Judgment Day or they drop them to Lash and Nia. So I very much expected that that was a possibility. It wasn't. They didn't drop the titles. They kept a hold of them. We'll see how long that storyline keeps going for. Um, Although I will say that Io and Nia work extremely well. I saw some of their work in the ring together. They looked extremely good together. I think there is propensity for the giant killer kind of thing, which we know Io can do very well. So yeah, let's watch the space for a little bit of those matches, and let's in turn also look for a little bit with Lash as well, because we know Lash can move very well for her size. Also, I think I've been watching Rhea, and Rhea's been working on some new stuff really a little bit. She's a big girl, but there's a lot of luchador style things being thrown into there. She just wants to be a little bit more nimble. I see her putting on a lot more ranas, and it's almost like she's been working with a more luchador, more Japanese style of wrestling to make her a little bit more fluid. You gotta love the fact that she never stops working. Now, next up, all I've got to say is Mellow. Oh, because Mellow don't miss. You're starting to get it, right? You're starting to get it. You're starting to see it. Even when he comes to the ring, he just has a certain aura about him. I have always said that I've never liked generic hip hop wrestlers, unless that's Jada Parker and Out the Mud, Street Profits. That works for me. But even all of those characters, I had to warm to. Well, not Out the Mud. Out the Mud was easy love straight away. But everybody else, I had to warm to, including Jada Parker, including the Street Profits. I had to warm to them throughout their performances, and because I don't like generic hip hop performers, but Mello got me. Mello got me just through the gravitas and watching him perform at a high level week in, week out. I didn't even like his moveset at first seeing him, but watching him do it over and over and over and over again perfectly, I just started to notice that Mello wasn't your average, and he's right, he don't miss. You don't miss. Some of the best matches I have seen in NXT were Mello, and I didn't expect them to be Mello. So Mello versus Ilya, another performer I really love from NXT UK. The guy has just been putting on 5-star his entire career. Put a couple of levels on what I said about Mello when it comes to Ilya, because again, I will never forget the matches against Walter or Gunter, whichever you want to call him. I will never forget those matches. They're some of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Ilya is phenomenal. So Ilya versus Melo. This led to a 5-on-5 with the MFTs. I mean, it is what it is. I enjoyed it. It was okay. I mean, Matt Cardona though looked like he did something to his tailbone. That was a looked like he did something to his tailbone. I hope not. Hope not. I quite like Matt Cardona. That would mean that husband and wife are seemingly out at the moment because Chelsea. What did she do? Her nose again. It's crazy, right? But she did. She did something. I forget. No, it wasn't her nose. She was. It was her foot. She was being wheeled around by Alba Fire in the chair because she's done something to that foot. So husband and wife injured. I mean, get well soon. Love both of those performers. Both those performers. So Selena Vegas, Selena Vega, Alexa Bliss versus Julia for an elimination chamber spot. Now, this is another one where it's the roster's getting a little bit crazy at the moment because I think with Zelina's new turn, especially with Aleister Black. She looks very interesting. We've seen after the US title reign that Zelina can hold titles. Zelina can be in big matches. So I think with the character turn, she looks a lot more interesting, and she seems. Let's see what she can do. Let's see what she can do. I've said the same for people like Maxine on Raw, but I think it's really time to let Zelina go and see what she can do. Not just have her in a match here or there. The gimmick between her and Aleister Black, that darkness, I think it has something in it. I think it has something in it. So I might figure out what to do with Zelina. Just figure out what to do with Zelina. Trick Williams. Now that's a crazy pop when Trick Williams comes, right? That's a crazy pop for a brand new start to the roster. It's absolutely insane, especially since he's as a heel. Um, Yeah, I think it's interesting that they have that Oba might be coming to SmackDown as well because Oba and Trick have got a long-standing history. Considering the fact that they're both going to be in the heavyweight sphere, I don't understand how you're going to have both of them on the same show. I think possibly split them up. We know that Javon is not going straight to the heavyweight picture, so if you had Oba on Raw, that would be completely fine because him and Javon wouldn't really interact so much. Also, I've been lobbying for quite a while about all Nigerian faction. Obafemi, Omas, let's bring Omas back. And you got Apollo Cruz. And I say, you remember the Nation of Domination? I don't know what you would call these dudes. But yeah. That would be interesting to see the all Nigerian faction. So Jade Cargill versus Jordan Grace. I like this match. I really actually like this match, and I thought it was the best match I've ever seen of Jade Cargill. Um, she's an absolute powerhouse, but not the greatest wrestler. I've noticed that. However, Jordan Grace has, in equal measure, and has the ability to make people look extremely good. I think that's what Jordan Grace did within this match. Very thankful for that because it seems like after this, I think Jade Cargill can hold on to the belt a little bit longer. Although I think she'll probably be dropping that at WrestleMania. Um, the match was very good. The match was very good. I didn't think it was a SmackDown worthy match. I thought it was a pay per view main event, maybe not main event, but pay per view definitely worthy match. Especially considering the fact it was probably the best match I've seen of Jade Cargill's career to date, even in AEW. Because as I said, just a great big powerhouse. Not so much in the finesse and the skill element. Um, but yeah, I would have built that match for a pay per view of some kind. I would have built it for Elimination Chamber at the very least, because I don't think they're going to give Jordan Grace a WrestleMania spot at this point. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But right now, I don't think they're going to give Jordan Grace a singles match at WrestleMania. So again, yeah, Obafemi should be on Raw. Obafemi should be on Raw. So that brings us to the end of the show, which is Elimination Chamber qualifier between Jacob Fatu, Sami Zayn, and Cody Rhodes. Now, you always kind of knew that Drew McIntyre was going to interfere in some way because he was rooting for Sami Zayn. I actually thought the match should have been won by Sami Zayn because between Cody and Jacob, there's many directions they could go in a route of getting to WrestleMania. They don't need the Elimination Chamber. They don't need the Royal Rumble. Both competitors have a great opportunity to make it purely on who they are to WrestleMania. I mean, Jacob Fatu a little bit less, but I think Jacob Fatu can still garner that against the right competitor. Maybe he might not be going for the heavyweight belt, but he can still go to Mania in a large capacity in a great match. So, and still be a match that steals the show. So I didn't think the winner needed to be either of those two. I thought it could be Sami and we could work something with Sami in the Elimination Chamber. This way, Sami is not in the Elimination Chamber and has to figure his way out to WrestleMania, which we know he'll be in some capacity, but we're still dragging the underdog thing for too long. And I feel like at this point, WWE are dragging the underdog story with Sami Zayn purely because they don't have an answer to what they want to do with him. They know it's going to be an underdog story. They know he needs to win the title, but there are so many wrestlers that they're trying to build at the moment that he's seemingly continuously taking a back seat. I think it's about time we do that storyline again. We haven't seen it for a while. The last time we saw it, it seemed like a test. So it was him versus Gunther for the Intercontinental title, and he won it. It seemed like a test to see if it would work on a larger scale, and I feel like it very much did. So now let's move it to the larger scale. To date, for me, the greatest WrestleMania is still WrestleMania. I felt it. And I haven't really felt it, as it were, since then. So, interesting. I mean, Cody won the match as we knew he would. Drew McIntyre's interference, as we knew he would. Very much looks like it's going to be Cody Drew Mania. It's been building for a while. I think there are other directions to go. I think it could also be a triple threat. Cody, Drew, and Jacob. Somehow him worming his way into that match. And when I say worm, I mean it in the nicest way, because I think Jacob deserves to be in that match. I think Jacob deserves to be at Mania. I think it might be time to put the title on Jacob and not the US title. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that all being said, that brings us to the joke of the day, and I have an absolute doozy for you. So, let's run the clip, monkeys!
Have you ever had a nickname, and why was it given to you?
I don't know why, but people love to call me Mark Henry. But, I don't
know No. That was egregious. That was out of order. Although not entirely incorrect. Mark Henry? If you like the content, please hit like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Lets you know when I'm uploading next. And until then, I have been the Triple Crown Champ. I'll see you next time.